Hi, everyone. Hi, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the rescue. It's Friday. Ooh, it's like one of the last days of January. I can't believe it. We made it through the month. Woo! And here it is, Friday, and I'm here for Cricut Chat. And I wanted to do something that's sort of a Valentine's. I don't care for all the mushy gushy Valentines, but I found this really pretty piece of, I would call it art, that was created from Rob and Bob. Yay, last Friday of January, yay. And I would call it art. Yep. Mm-hmm. And actually it's from an old calendar. I think it was the 2015 calendar, that Rob and Bob did for Cricut. Although I don't recall seeing it in 2015. So I'm not really sure about that, but it does have a calendar attached to it. But what I've done is I've made it into a framed art piece. I'm going to try not to get a glare on it. So I did it to a framed art piece that I thought would look really nice in like the living room or something for Valentine's Day, or if you wanted all the time. And then I also made it into a card, and I put a sentiment that I found. It may not be the appropriate sentiment, but I wanted to show you how to put this different sentiment on there and where I found it and everything. So that's what we're going to do today. I do want to take a moment before we get started to tell you that I have been working extra hard to get a schedule together for the next couple of weeks. So, as long as, everything goes as planned, we're going to do this today. And then on Sunday, we're going to be doing crayon Valentines on the Joy using the new Smart cardstock. It's white cardstock, and we're going to be using those for Sunday. So I hope you can join me then. There will not be a date night on Saturday night. However, next Saturday night, we will be having our second Zoom call. Our second Zoom call, and I'm going to set that up. That's February 6th, Saturday, February 6th. It's going to be our sort of date night Zoom call. And we'll set that up for, I guess, 7:00, and I'll think about maybe 8:00. I don't know. I'm not going to present a project on that Zoom call. Okay. Maybe we need to do sort of an ask me anything, or maybe talk about different things that you want to, learn and stuff like that. Because at night, my problem is I have a vision problem at night. I guess getting old, but I can't see too well at night. That's why I switched the date nights to Sunday. Even with extra lighting, I have a really hard time with seeing my screen. So that's why I don't want to do a project on Saturday night. So February 6th, Zoom call on Saturday night. What time is good for you? We used to have it at 7, but I don't know if you want to change the time or not. Okay, and so then next week's going to be a flurry of things because it's the first part of February. We've got Groundhog Day, and we have the Chinese New Year coming. I think it's on the 12th. Yes, it is on the 12th. Hi, Susan. And so we have that, and then we have, of course, Valentine's Day. So we're going to keep doing Valentine's Day, and I have a huge list, an enormous list of things that I want to do. So I'm been really working very hard to get a good schedule. The other thing that I wanted to mention is I recently posted my Patreon on one of these calls. No, I'm not, this isn't a sales thing, but I did get a few people that signed up for Patreon, and I want to somehow honor them or thank them for becoming my Patreon patrons. So I'm thinking in February that we might do one prize for one of the Patreons. That's not to get more people to sign up, but rather just to kind of thank people for having signed up, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to drive like tons of people, but it would be hey, it would be fun. Anyway, there's also a sale going on at Cricut, 30% off. Don't forget to use my code and link. You have to use them together, the link and the code. So what happens is the code gives you 10% off and free shipping over $50. But the link is what gives me a little bit. It's like 8% of your order. It varies, depends on what you buy. So it allows me to support myself and this, video type of thing. Patreon is a different thing. Patreon is it's like a monthly payment, donation that you make towards my channel. Excuse me. Scratchy throat today. So it's spelled Patreon, Patreon. Patreon. I guess it's supposed to be a play on the word a patron. A patron is somebody that would support artists so that they wouldn't starve to death. And so now they have this, online thing where you can sign up as little as like $3 a month. And it would be like money that I could count on and use towards supporting the channel. So if you've ever thought, gee, all these videos are great and I love them and I wish I could just send her, a tip, then that's how you could do Patreon. Okay. I am not going to stop being free. So for people who ask, I am still going to do free shows for as long as that I can, and that there's an interest. So I will continue to do the free shows. This isn't a ploy to get you to sign up or anything like that. It's just a way that I've had some people who have said, I'd like to support you directly rather than indirectly through sales. And that's what Patreon does. And so you can sign up and you find it there's a description of, there's a link in the description of the videos that I've been doing, all the ones recently. There's a link there. There's also links for Amazon for the glue. I'll be adding more. And I'm also trying to pull in all of my places, and that includes my website, my blog, which is MissRitaToTheRescue.com. I haven't been contributing to that blog all that much. And I'm going to put a little shout out to anybody that might like to do a blog post, to contact me. Maybe you have a project that you want to share, and I'm looking for anybody that might be interested in doing not sales, but like content. So if you think you can write or do something, definitely contact me. My email address is missritatotherescue@gmail.com. And we can maybe set it up so that you can write or do like a a pattern or like something you've done that looks really cool and you want to share it with other people, this is a way to get you involved and get you a little bit of exposure if you're someone that likes to do this stuff a lot. And so, no, Perlita, no, I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm not going to do that. We're free. We're always going to be free. And there probably will be some perks to being a Patreon follower, and I'm just trying to find out what those are. Okay. So no, you're not going to be like limited. My projects are going to be free because they're from Cricut, and it's just a way some people like to send a a little tip. They want to buy me a coffee, and so they send me a few dollars, and I thought might as well jump on that, and so that way you can feel like you're helping. Yeah, it's like a supporting monthly thing. And so if you think about it and you can afford it, obviously, guys, I mean, I'm not going to ask you to give money that you don't have. But if you think about it and you can afford it, then consider doing it. And the link is in the description of the videos starting this week. Also, I wanted to call out for Pam Roddy Reagan, Ragan, Pam Roddy Reagan. Pam, you are a winner. You're a winner. And I called your name last Sunday, but perhaps you didn't hear it. You're a winner from, I think you're a top fan on Facebook, and I wanted to send you a free gift at the end of the month. And so I need to get your address. So if you could send me your name that you get mail to and your address to Miss Rita to the rescue at Gmail. Pam, I don't know if you're hearing this or you're going to hear it on the replay or whatever, but you are a winner from Sunday. I have a new winner for today to announce, and it is Shelly Hetherington. She is a constant contributor to our chats. So Shelly. Stop, I want to say Kelly. Shelly Hetherington. Please, if you could send me an email at Miss Rita to the rescue at Gmail, and I can get to sending you a prize. Now, remember, when I call your name, I usually do the prizes at the try to center it in the beginning and middle of the month, and then I have to choose all of the winners and get the information to Cricut. So you will not get a prize until after the next month, right? So if you won a prize, you will not get it. Let's say you won a prize in January, you would not get it until February. Okay. And just as a reminder, the January winners were Lynn Collins, Becky Mills, Paula Soares, Eileen Ramspacher, which I heard from her. Thank you. Lori Hockett, Perlita Broiles, Deborah Broadbeck, and Pam Roddy Reagan, and Shelly Hetherington. So we had 9 winners. I have one more winner to give out. So listen for that probably on Sunday. Okay, let's get to work. Today we're going to be working with this really lovely piece of art from and I'm sorry, I didn't have time to say hello to everybody. So hi, everyone. Hi. It's Friday. We made it. Last Friday in January. So exciting. And we have a couple of really exciting weeks coming up, and I want to, share so many things with you that I'm actually dreaming about this stuff at night. And last night I came up with an idea. I had to get up and write it down so I wouldn't forget. And so I just wanted to, let you know that we've got a lot of really fun things to do. So today we're going to use something that was originally a calendar. And this is, I think, so apropos of January, because I love calendars. I think I've mentioned that to you before. And I always am sad. I don't know what to do with my old calendars. And I always get like Mary Engelbreit or Susan Branch. She's my favorite, calendars. And I don't know what to do with them when the year has passed. And I'm not one of those that writes in those wall calendars, but they're so beautiful that you just kind of want to frame them, and, but they're a weird shape. So I was able to find these, pieces, and we've done one of these in the past. You do too, Annette? Yeah, I do. I keep a little notebook on my desk, my nightstand. So we did one of these back in November, and it's from Rob and Bob, and it is like a layered, sorry, they hear something. It is like a layered kind of thing. And so I want to show you where I found this. So it started off as a calendar. Let me go back to I'm going to go to image sets, and I just want to, I have a little hard time with this. Okay, image sets, and I am going to look for Rob and Bob, but instead of going to the best of Rob and Bob, but well, actually I'll go there just so you can see what I mean about it used to be a calendar. Okay. So if you search, you scroll down, like see here, this is 2015 March, and that's the calendar. But if you go back into when you do just image set search for Rob, you'll see that there is this Rob and Bob Artspiration. So basically what they did was take all 12 of the calendar pieces and turned it into this square piece of art. So we did, you might remember, we did this thankful one. And so today I'm going to do all things with love. It was between that and this live an inspired life. So I chose that, and I started to think about, I'm going to move these things. I started to think about what can I do? Now, the last time we did this, we did it as framed art, and I have this here. It's a framed shadow box art piece that I got from Michael's, and they're on sale right now at Michael's. They're buy one get two free, and they have these in 3-packs. So if this is the sort of thing you like to do, I would suggest you go seek out that sale at Michael's for the buy one get two free. And this is so I was able to buy one 3-pack, and I got 3-packs. Does that make sense? I got 9 out of there. So that's what I'm using. It's an 8x8. So I'm going to take my square and make it 8 inches. Now, I want to just point something out about this, okay? If you ungroup it, it's like it's like 5 layers. It's got a white layer in the back. It's got red, and it's got black, and then pink. Well, the pink comes before the black. And each of the layers, this is typical of a layered card or a layered whatever image, is that each one has, as you go from back to front, has more and more cuts. So here's our white, it has no cuts. And here is the next one, which is the pink. I think that's the next one. Yep. And then there's the red, and you see how there are some cutouts so that you can see the red. Does that make sense? So you put one blank on there, and then you're building basically the different colors and the different words based on this. Okay, that's how these work. I just kind of want to demystify them because when I first started doing this, I didn't understand how people did this. So this was for me a really good learning experience. Okay, I'm just going to group this. So the other thing I thought that we would do, since it's coming on Valentine's Day, I thought, well, let's make a card, and it is square. So if I wanted to also make a card, and this is the card, if I wanted to make a card, what I would probably do is cut it out in white, and because white is the bottom piece, I can, I'm going to duplicate my image, all right? And let's ungroup it again so you can see. So the back part of this, ungroup, is white, right? So we just need to extend this piece to be the actual card base, okay? And right now it's coming in at, I think I said 8 inches, but a square card probably needs to be, I'd say like 4 or 5 inches. I think, how did I do this one at? I did this one at 5 inches. So what you can do is, once you've duplicated the image, let's group it and change the width to 5 by 5. Okay, because it's squared 5 by 5. Then what you can do is you can ungroup it and take your white piece, and we're going to make it 10 by 5, and that's so we can have a card. So we're going to unlock it because it's a locked image and it's a square, and I can't make it 10 by 5, which is uneven unless I unlock it. Okay, so I'm going to make the width, in this case I'm making the width to be 10. Okay, and I know it looks kind of weird, but we're going to put a score line in there, and we're going to also put a sentiment. Okay, so here is our 10 by, it's like 10 by 4.8. I mean, I can, you know what, I'll change it to 10 by 5. I think because it is one of the back layers, okay? So we need to add a score line. So how do you add a score line? Very simply, just go over to shapes right here. And, oh, by the way, if you're doing this on a Joy, you would not have a score line because it doesn't do scoring. So you don't have to do this part. You would score this by hand, okay? And so we go to shapes and we choose the score line right here down the bottom right hand. And for my friend Sherry, who is talking about she works at a residential nursing home, I think, and she wants to put names on hearts. And the easiest way to do that, Sherry, is just select a heart like this, make it whatever size, and do it as a 6-inch size, okay? And you can turn it red if it's helpful. And that's where you're going to start from, and then you'd add a text and put your friends' names on there and attach. Same thing with the scoring, is we just stretch it to be at the halfway point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our halfway point. I can get a little closer so you can kind of see where I'm talking. And I want to make sure that my it's right at halfway point. So here we go. So there's my scoring at the halfway point. I am going to select the scoring and the card, and I'm going to attach it. Okay. Now at this point, if you do not want a sentiment, you can just go ahead and cut it at this point. But I wanted to give you a lot of people love to do sentiments, and I wanted to show you where I found a few sentiments that were kind of nifty, and I hadn't ever thought about it before. So over here, on the way right hand side on trending, there is a link called phrases and sentiments. And so if you click on that, it goes through and some of them are cut images, but some of them are drawn images. So what you do is you have to scroll here, but you to look for some really kind of fun. There's a lot of things here. And so I was looking at these ones here, which are from a group called like Wild as a Sunflower. And they have this background and then the writing on them, and then they have the cutouts right here. So I thought these were kind of fun things. So I pulled that into my card. I'm going to show you how to use that. So when you have a chance, definitely check out the phrases and sentiments. Not all of them are going to work for you, but you might be able to find a few that are fun. Some of them are drawn images, and some of them are not. I love this one. I never saw this one, Home Sweet Home. That's my mom's favorite saying. So yeah, like, look, there's all kinds of stuff here. So just when you have a minute, just kind of go through that. And so when you bring it in, it comes in, this one here comes in rather large, and it has two layers. Okay. So it has the top layer is drawing, and then the bottom layer is cutting. So you could cut it like this and put it on the inside of your card, or if you wanted to, you could resize it and go over to the right hand side where it says attach, and you can do a couple of things. You can detach it and actually remove this from that, like that. And you can either get rid of this or save it. That's up to you. Or you could, can I do a couple things? Yeah, detach. Yeah, or you could hide it. That was the other thing I wanted to say. But I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to just get rid of it because I don't want that in there. I want it to be right inside my card, okay? So here I've put it where I wanted it to be. Usually it's in the card, in the sort of like there's some room at the top, room to the left and right, and even more room on the bottom. So there looks like a good position. And then you would select this and attach it. Now, one of the things I've noticed that's come up in Design Space lately is you have to detach the score line in order to attach the sentiment. I don't know if that's a bug or a feature, but I hate it. So once you detach, then you can reselect everything and attach it. So now we have a card that has a sentiment. It's going to have a score, and then we're going to build our little card right on top of that. So okay, good, because now my Design Space is acting up. So let's switch over to how to put this together. It's basically the same thing, but I'm going to show you how to put together the framed piece and the card piece. And where's my empty? Okay, so I'm going to move you. I don't think I really need to show you how to cut these out. I would cut, if you have a larger machine, I would cut the top pieces on cardstock for intricate cuts. Cardstock for intricate cuts. And let me show you what I mean about that. So here is the first piece of our framed art piece. This particular piece there's a lot of cutting involved. So when you go to cut it, if you're working on an Explore or a Maker, there is a setting. If you go to Browse All Materials and you go to the cardstock, the top setting is called Cardstock for Intricate Cuts, okay? And what that does is it takes into account that there's a lot of movement going on with your blade, and it's going to kind of slow the machine down a little bit and take more care in cutting it out. So it's kind of like the opposite of the fast mode. And I think it actually cuts twice. So that's cardstock for intricate cuts. That is not available on the Joy right now. So I think I put in for a request for that, but I haven't heard anything back. So that's what I would do. I know, Annette, I know. I put in a request. I'll double check. I'll go back and double check. Okay, so now I'm going to move you down here to my workspace here and show you how to put together these things. So here is the display case or presentation, or I call it a shadow box. And I cut out all of my pieces 8 by 8. I did it 8 inches. So what we want to do is flip this over and get something such as, especially if you have very nice nails, get something like this spatula and go around and lift up these little tangs. I don't know what you want to call them. They're metal and they'll hurt your finger if you don't use something like that. Okay, so that's going to allow you to take out what's inside of the box. Okay, so this box consists of, this is the background, this is just the advertisement of it. It also has this in there that allows it to look like a shadow box, and then your glass and your actual frame. So why don't we put all of these pieces aside for right now? We're going to work from the back forward. So here is the back. We're going to flip it over and we are going to layer from the back to the front on here. Now, you could use pop dots. If you don't know what pop dots are, they're like little foam pieces that have adhesive. But to be really frank, I don't think that this would lend itself to pop dots too well, because I think of the way that it's cut out makes it a little harder. Okay, so we're going to start with the first piece. Now I have them in order, and I'll just point out that, so the way this works is the piece that has the least amount of cuts on it, this one, is the back piece, and then it goes progressively. So this one here has just a few cutouts, and then this one has a few more, then this one has even more, and then the last one is the one with the most. So if you ever get confused about what order they're supposed to be in, just look at the number of cuts, okay? All right, so we're going to start working with the most cuts one, and we're going to use some glue. We've done this before. This is the glue that I'm currently using. It's called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. You can buy it on Amazon. I think you can also buy it on their website, Barely Art, but they've been doing a lot of advertising. You don't need to have this glue. However, if it does work really, really well, and if you use glue a lot, you might really want to try it. So I do have a link to it in the description of video. So if you're watching this live, I'll put it in there afterwards. But what I want to point out is when you're using glue, is the idea is not to use a lot. Like this right here, that's a little too much. So I kind of will spread it out. You just want to kind of dot it, and then around the bigger pieces, just a thin strip. But like these little pieces right here that have very thin cutouts, the reason being is that we don't want the glue to come squirting out the sides where the cutout is. Okay, so that's why we sparingly use our glue. And any glue works. Somebody was talking about Aleene's tacky glue. I've actually never used it, but never used it for paper, but you could use it, and if you need to, you could water it down. Of course you could water it down. Someone was saying it was too thick, and you could water it down for sure. I think what I like about these bottles is, boy, the dogs are barky today. I think what I like about these bottles is that it's got a really nice tip to it, and some of the other ones don't. So, so we've put all of our glue on there, and we're going to take our next piece here, and we're going to lay it so that you're not going to see, except for around the edges, you're not going to see any white. So here it's a little bit off. Okay, so there we go. All right, then we're going to keep working. We're going to do our glue around the edge here. And there's, you know, less cutouts here, so it's going to go a little easily. But I will point out that right here with this N, make sure you get a little tiny bit of glue on there because you don't want it to stick out. And so less glue is needed here, but just make sure you're getting all the little places here. Okay, so that's fine. So next one up is the red, and we are going to put it here and see how you don't see any of the black or the white. That's how these things work. They get progressively less cuts. So next is pink. Let's put the glue here. And of course, you guys will do a better job of this than I will because I'm just showing you really quickly, okay? So here goes the pink right on there. And then the last piece is the white with no cutouts. So we can just do some really quick glue here and put our white piece on. Now I will point out that the front piece is the one that is 8x8, and the other ones are slightly smaller. Don't try to size your image so that they're all 8x8. I think it's so that to avoid like this thickness. It's okay if you messed up. You can just go back. Use the go back button, and that will work. Okay, so here's our framed art. It's all on there. You could, if you wanted to, glue this piece to the back, but I don't know. Today I'm thinking not. So what I'm going to do is take my framed piece. I'm going to put it here, and it fits there just so nicely. Then I'm going to take this piece and put it back in there, and then I'm going to push down all these little tabby things. What do I call them? I don't know what you call them, but I'm pushing down all of these tabby things. And look, isn't that beautiful? Do all things with love. I just love it. And this is a way, you know, I think, I got a little bit of glue on the inside. So I'm going to open that up and make sure I get it off because I'll notice it. I will notice it. So let me do that. So take this out. And if you were so inclined, and if you like this sort of idea, you could go to that that image set. Here's my glue. You could go to that image set and do this for every month. And you could have a new little art piece for every month. Or maybe you do 2 or 3 of them and put them in a row, like going down a hallway or something. I think that would work too. So definitely take advantage of things that, even if it's a calendar, it's a way to recycle or upcycle those images. Okay, the card is very similar. I can show you how to put it together, but let me show you this again. Isn't that real nice? Very nice. So the card goes together similarly, except that we've got our piece. This is the piece Sorry, I did the what is this called? Sentiment. Okay, I did the sentiment on one of these three, and just so you can see, this is how it wrote out. And there's my my score line. So I'm just going to fold this in half. So I have 3 here that I cut out because I was thinking, oh, you know, I'm such a smart chick. I'm going to cut out 3 and then I can send these off or do whatever. So these consists of the same layers. So we've got the white on the top, the black, then the red, then the pink, but we don't need that plain white square, okay? Because the plain white square will become our card, or is our card. So we'll take that square and we can put it aside, flip these over like this, and then start with your glue and get those, remember to get those little spots, especially where it's cut out, because you don't want it to lift when somebody opens it or looks at the card. All right, so I always make sure to put the glue in all these little tiny pieces, but not a lot, but just enough so that those little pieces won't lift and rip off, because that does happen when you don't secure all those little pieces on there. So, and again, you'll do it much better than me because you won't be rushing. Try to get this done in a certain amount of time. And so here I am. I did all my little glue. Boop, boop, boop. See, little tiny dots. Not a whole lot. Don't just squirt it all out, you know. Okay. So this card is 5 by 5, yes. So, and the back piece that is the card part is actually 10 by 5 with the score line at the halfway mark. So there is the black, and we're going to do the red next. And as someone mentioned, I saw in the chat, this is perfect for things like party foil. Someone did our ice cream card yesterday with, I think it was either party foil or Art Deco vinyl. Yes, you absolutely could use party foil or even vinyl in this, but party foil is great because you won't have an issue of like sticking it on there because you have to use glue. But I just would keep it from being the last or the first piece. So make it a sandwich layer, like this red here. Yeah, it was Shirley. You did it with Art Deco, and I thought, how genius. It was the cherry and the cheeks, the little, you know, red cheeks she did in Art Deco. And it just looked fabulous. Better than glitter, I think, you know. Hey, listen, if you are so inclined, you're on Facebook. One of the places you might want to join is our little group. It's called Miss Rita to the Rescue Community Group. It's growing, but it's a great little group for sharing your projects that you do or asking questions. And it's a small enough group that you're not going to get lost in there. Okay, so there's our piece. Oh, yeah, and you did add chocolate chips. That was perfect for our presidential card idea. I thought the chocolate chips were really funny. She actually took the ice cream cone and put like little dots on the top piece and made it into chocolate chip ice cream, which I thought was just perfect. Very, 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 very fun. Okay, so there's our card. Isn't that great? And we have our sentiment in there, and it's all ready to go. You'll need, if you want to mail this, you will need a square envelope. And if Design Space keeps if it's fixed, I will include the envelope in the free file that I'll give you after I post this video, okay? So that's using these really fun Artspiration images from Rob and Bob to make either or both a framed art piece or a card. And that's all there is to it. It's not hard, Perlita. You're going to get it. It's just the kind of thing, once you work with it long enough, you'll make it look easy too. And I firmly believe that everyone can do this, or everyone can be creative in their own way. So thank you, everybody, for coming today. Let's see. I'll see you again on Sunday at noon for Cricut brunch. We're going to be doing those coloring. They're actually coloring pages that are turned into Valentines, and there are 4 of them available in Design Space, but psst, it's a secret. I'm going to show you how to make them yourself. So choose, I think you get a dinosaur, a whale, a bee, and something else. And those are really cute, but I'm going to show you how to make a cow one, and how to make a ladybug one, and what's the other one? A cat one. So easy. It's going to be so much fun. So definitely join me on Sunday at noon for our brunch edition of Cricut Chat. See you guys. Have a wonderful day. Oh, I am. Thank you, Perlita. I'll turn it off. Thanks.